content, ugly reel दिखा पड़ता
and
है.
constant churn.
It is not possible for anybody to sit down and do something.
As much as I appreciate the art and the craft, right? But
He's
then
like pointing and
and both sides,
मैं घर पे
and
बैठ के
craft,
कैंची मारता हूँ.
वो भी, and then but then we've kept arts and craft space alive.
Must do that.
क्योंकि अगर वो नहीं होता alive, then जो दिखता नहीं right? But then
Arts or craft.
हाँ तो
Money is everywhere. You just have to tap into it.
Okay.
Yeah, boom. जितना आप डिजाइन में आगे बढ़ते हो उतना you realize you move from like the Adobe suite to the Microsoft suite. Yeah.
common thumb rule, right? You don't have to work in the business, work on the business, and then you have to step away from these roles.
That's the beauty of design. It exists, but it doesn't exist.
That sounds like ripping people off.
Because designers, artists, ये हैं हम सब too idealistic in our thinking.
Success is actually the friends you make along the way.
Are we friends? Are we friends?
Yo, sit alone and knife wonder maybe. We got your girl undulating to the rhythm of the drum. Wet t-shirt looking like a vacation. Take it off like Monday, baby, and there will be no underrating. So please.
Okay, we'd start with like quick introductions.
Alright.
Starting from Anant.
I am a creative entrepreneur, essentially a graphic designer, but I like doing cultural production too. Everything except graphic design I like doing.
Yeah.
Which I just claim to be one.
ऐसा.
Yeah, exactly. I run Irregulars Alliance and Irregular Studios. Alliance works in the field of cultural production where we do a publication, where we do art fairs, mini productions for like arty things. And with the studio we do
Branding,
marketing. We tried a little bit of filmmaking also last year.
Yeah, I'll tell you, I also never ask people for introductions on the podcast because usually guests who come in, like, they're pretty much out there on social media or like whatever platforms they're on.
What's
With
coming
this-
up?
with this it was more like कि ये सिर्फ थोड़े ऐसे LinkedIn पे रहते हैं, हमारी audience थोड़ी is more reels and like
That's true.
little bit of YouTube here and there. But yes, branding studio.
Yeah,
something that
I
you
have a
run.
LinkedIn profile ready in case you guys are looking for it.
No, we have that as a part of all
Okay,
this
lovely,
already.
lovely.
Yeah.
I've been stalking you, bro.
Yeah, I am
Very,
glad
very-
I have arrived in life. My
LinkedIn
LinkedIn
stalker.
is getting stalked. That's what really keeps me on my toes
Yeah.
every day.
चाहे
So
उस पे
you
traction
also
हो।
run, which is the newspaper? It's also Irregulars.
The Irregular Times.
The Irregular Times.
Yes.
Got it.
That's it's the new one is launching in. I don't want to commit to a number, but
Right.
after Diwali.
Sorry. And you
सारे
launch it
लोग
twice a
busy
year.
Huh?
Twice a year you drop the new
It's
edition.
whenever we want a year.
वही।
Now it's not. We've not been following any frequency now.
Yeah.
Now, see, the thing is, if we go after it as a profit-making thing right now, we might lose the essence of the editorial.
But do you think it is profitable in general?
We've
Can
broken
you-
even. We've broken even.
Oh, solid.
It's not about profit on that one anyway. It was,
Correct.
Dude, in today's day and age, who thinks of starting a bloody print publication? Not,
Nobody, right?
The
Yeah.
print ones are thinking, why are they doing this?
Correct. So I keep getting I keep getting messages from Condé Nast. I subscribed to it last year, and they're selling the entire year's magazines. I mean, you get like a monthly edition of all your GQs, Vogues, the CN Traveler that they have for $2,500 for the entire year. So all of these editions. So you're just like, hey, where the fuck are these guys actually making money?
Yeah. Again, they could be possibly, I don't know, from my understanding of how the
Advertising,
print
yeah.
world works, it is purely advertising.
Correct.
And we don't want to be in that space. We still
So you're
want
not
to-
selling any advertising on Irregular
We're not
Times?
selling any advertising, but we're looking for like brand partnerships.
Okay.
So I think with the third edition we did, and sometimes they get so indie and so niche that nobody
Right.
really knows. Like
Yeah.
we partnered up with the Type Foundry,
Okay, solid.
and they gave us typefaces for free. And dude, typefaces are expensive.
Correct.
Come to think of it,
Yeah.
आप €1,000, $2,000 के range में minimum if
Correct.
you want a good typeface.
Yeah.
So they opened up their chest of typefaces for us to choose from, which was great.
Yeah.
This edition that's
Oh, they were
coming
like,
up-
pick any.
Yeah,
Solid.
choose whatever you want.
Yeah,
How big is
graphic
the foundry?
designers.
It's an Indian foundry.
No, they are in India and Iceland,
Oh wow.
Interesting.
and now the founder has moved to Canada.
You can give them
British
a shout out
Columbia.
if you like.
Universal Thirst are the type foundry of my choice.
Nice.
I have a few questions though, but
Yeah, you can always.
but
ask
you're
any
saying you've
question.
broken even on the newsletter, so it's a subscription. It's a subscription.
No,
basically.
it's selling
wow.
as in when it launches.
Off the counter.
Oh wow, oh wow.
There's like 1,000 copies only, so it's. See, why we're thinking of the smaller number in the first place is that.
Sorry guys, Tanveer was not wearing a mic.
But bola nahi bhai ne abhi tak, so we're good.
Here, right?
Maybe that's why he wasn't talking.
Yeah. Here, right?
Yeah, wherever you like. And it should be close to your mouth, and that's about it.
Check. Cool. Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
No,
you. So you.
So you were earning
broke
bucks
even
with the
on-
newsletter,
Yeah.
and you
not
were saying,
earning bucks.
but you're good now, basically. Khus ho.
Yeah, that's not also our primary
Exactly.
source
Source
of
of
income.
income.
It's
Yeah.
more like something that we wanted to create and see if it works out.
Bas.
And it stabilized itself over a course of 2.5, 3 years. And we are happy with that trajectory. We don't want to rush it. Small numbers are good. They
What do you
sell out
feel
in
about
time.
Dirty? I got Dirty Mag here. They don't sell any advertising on the.
Dirty, dude, this is editorial from a fashion perspective, right? So there's no ad as per se, but there are brands involved who are, so for example, Type Foundry giving us free typeface
Yeah.
is fashion brands giving them free clothing
Precisely.
Okay.
for.
Correct. So like
yeah.
brand collaborations, but you're not essentially making any revenue of it apart from like just selling the
So
magazine.
the latest one is actually a brand collaboration.
Fantastic, okay.
Which is with Grammar Room.
Nice.
And that's a much smaller newsletter. It's a special edition that we've done. That's
Oh, you're a part of it as well?
What?
Dirty. Oh no, you're talking about Irregulars.
I'm talking about Irregulars. Are you talking about this one?
I was talking about Dirty. and
Sorry, my
Irregular.
bad. I'm
Yeah.
just like in three different and dirty, dirt.
Yeah.
It sounds.
Yeah.
अभी तो multiple tabs कितने खुलने वाले हैं भाई पता है.
Dirty, I think they've done a fantastic job with those kind of brand collaborations and putting it all together. And I know Kshitij personally as well. The vision that he has is not to just have ads.
Right.
He really wants to create content for the kind of brands that he loves. He loves
Right.
fashion. Like
Right.
if you know Kshitij, or even if you've seen his trajectory, like I remember 2017 is when I left Bombay. And I met him towards like the last end of my Bombay life, like the last 3-4 months, and I leveled with him at so many levels. Just so many levels that happened.
Yeah.
But he knew, he had a vision back then only. मुझे ये करना है, ये नहीं करना है.
Huh.
And I will do what I want.
That's
and
very
the world
important.
will follow.
Yeah, that's super important. But initially, do you think like there are people backing stuff like this, like in terms of like purely like producing a magazine like this?
Not at the kind of readership that
Okay.
Dirty
Yeah.
or Turt
Yeah.
or any of the smaller.
So it's all self-funded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you have to, because your circulation is not that big that
Correct.
somebody would like to put in money.
Right.
See, at the end of the day, the price points that these publications are coming at, this is 3,000 rupees.
What are you saying?
Yeah.
Okay, this is the first edition that I bought.
So I'm
Yeah.
telling you,
Yeah.
nobody wants to spend 3,000 rupees on a publication.
Correct.
Who in their right mind, especially the
It
Indian
becomes a
market,
coffee
everybody
table
wants-
book, right? Like
Yeah.
I've just
No,
kept
it is a
here.
coffee table.
Yeah.
It is a limited edition for a reason. That's why
Correct.
people who have the 3,000 rupee buck in their pocket
Yeah.
will spend.
Correct.
So you have to be mindful of that also. How many copies you want to make, how big you want to go, and at that level, do you want somebody sitting on your chest and asking you for like paisa de wapas mera? You have to be considerate of all of these things. I feel.
I feel like the kind of sponsors and like brand collaborations I've ever gotten, or like people to like even put in money for any creative ventures that I'm doing, it's more like a rakh le. Like they don't want it back.
Grants.
Yeah, because if you think of it, there is no foolproof way of any kind of entertainment idea making
Yeah.
money right off the bat. You
Correct.
have to consistently do it for
Right.
people to be like,
For
okay, it's
years
worth
and
it, yeah.
years and
Yeah.
years, like an IP basically. That's the IP game.
Exactly.
Exactly.
And then you've got to slog for years.
And there are so many of these brands, like from alcohol brands to like local investors and like people who just like entertainment and culture in general and want to be a part of things. They're just like, take our
want to
money.
be a part of the social sphere, so they'll probably pull up a project,
Yeah.
and that's their end.
I shouldn't be talking about this out loud.
You're just giving it away, giving it all away.
Secret.
Don't.
नहीं वो अपने sponsors के बारे में बात कर
नहीं मेरे sponsors बहुत अच्छे हैं bro. Fasten Up and like a lot of these other people. They're
Fasten
nice.
up if you're listening. I'm open in my DMs.
Night Out in fact told us to like feature their product, right? Pranay do get it at some point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Pranay is a good man.
Yeah.
He helped me.
He did?
Yeah.
To find the way here? Yeah. Fair.
I'm super excited to have WIP sponsoring today's episode because they're the ones behind the scenes helping creators like me bring ideas to life. WIP sits at the intersection of technology and art, empowering storytellers to transform their visions into reality. In this AI-driven age, they're the champions of authentic, human-led content. Whether it's series like this, performance art shows, or even concerts, WIP gives us the platform to share, create, and shine.
Okay, quickly go to Aman as well. Aman, quick introduction.
But at this point, I think I've lost that tag of a designer. But I was
Also, to
originally-
set some context, sorry, I have briefly interacted with Anant in my life. We recently, in fact, met at a fashion show after party where we chatted, and I was like, "You must come for my podcast." And today we're here. And Aman, I know since the time I was born. Like I was telling Tanveer, our parents are best friends.
That's my in here, bro.
Yeah. And Tanveer, I know through his brother.
It's earned privilege.
Also same school.
Yeah.
Yeah. And okay, back to
Yeah,
Aman
so
introducing
I'm
himself.
traditionally trained as an industrial designer, and within the space of industrial design, I was in a even more narrower space, which is automotive architecture. So dealing with a lot of tools and whatnot. But then at that point, I think I realized कि भाई 3D मेरे तो बस की नहीं है. And I was seeing all of my peers like just nail it. They were class A modelers and whatnot. At that point, I think I made the move to exploring different spaces. I remember I was applying for internships, and around in 2014 I saw UI UX की internship. So I never looked back. मैं तो apply कर दी भाई. And
Were you studying in France at some point?
no, bro.
That's all faff, bro. Like our
Exactly.
copywriter was like, he studied in France, and I was like, I know the guy since like fucking 15 years. He's
Precisely,
not been to France. Yeah.
That's a French college who was
In
operating
Pune.
out of Pune, bro.
Okay.
From some bloody corner, fringes of Pune.
Right.
But it was a good college, हाँ तो. But at that point, internship की बात करूँगा तब
But this internship was before college.
No, this was during the college.
Okay.
And then I interned at Khosla Ventures, at Khosla Labs. This is Vinod
I don't
Khosla. So Vinod Khosla is a big VC out there, and I was working with the Aadhaar team here. So my direct correspondent was actually the CTO of Aadhaar.
What are you
Shrikant
saying?
Naravali. And that was my first fucking internship. मैं वहाँ जाके मैं जो स्केच सीख रहा हूँ ऑन द स्पॉट. सारे IITians MITians सारे भरे वहाँ पे, और वहाँ पे जाके ऑन द स्पॉट सब सीख रहे हैं. तो भाई थोड़ा फट रही थी, फिर बहुत सेक्स भी कर. So anyway, and then compare it to the industrial design space, which is the automotive space. But the way those two lanes were moving, right? On one side, you're seeing a lot of startups like just bubbling in Bangalore, and then in the automotive space, there are people who are designing the side view mirror for like the whole year.
Right.
So मैं बोला भाई, fuck, then I'll move here. That's how I made a foray into.
But tell me more
the
about your
SaaS
college,
space.
design college, right? From what I remember.
So that was a good place as well in terms of just exposure. We had a lot of design courses running.
Right.
On one side we had gaming, animation, and then on the other side we had product design. Product design mein digital design, automotive design. So all of these guys, at least from my first sight at the design landscape, I was pretty privileged to see that there's a lot more to design. Right? Ab these days अगर किसी भी design पूछो तो बोले भाई UI UX है,
But
या
why did you get
illustration
into
है, या
design in the
graphic
first
design है.
place? Because you started, I mean, you studied PCM in college, in school.
I had
you
biotech.
did engineering and biotech. So what was that pivot to like design?
So that's where two schools of thoughts also come in terms of design. I think there are a lot of folks who are just coming in from the space of arts and craft. I think I came in, I was exposed to design from the engineering side. So it was a lot of problem solving, or at least that was sold to me. वहाँ जाके पता नहीं कर कुछ और ही रहा था मैं कॉलेज में. But yeah, but I stuck to that at least. As much as I appreciate the arts and the craft side, but
He's
then
like pointing at me.
and craft side,
And
craft movie, and then but I was quick to stay away क्योंकि भाई पता है strength भी नहीं है, पता भी होना चाहिए भाई औकात कहाँ है तुम्हारी तो हट जाओ जल्दी आगे बढ़ जाओ. So that was the scene.
Yeah, okay. And a lot of good designers came out of college.
100%.
Right? Like,
What college? Sorry,
It's ISD Rubica.
ISD is the one that
Indian
you
School of Design.
Oh no,
Indian
that's the one that you
School of
went. No,
Design.
which-
I went to HR college.
ये तो कुछ ये तो college ही नहीं है भाई अपना.
Yeah, I'll show you my degree. My parents made sure I get the degree back from college.
It's framed in the back. Yeah.
It's framed outside my fucking room.
ISD. It was called DSK Rubica.
Oh, I've heard of DSK.
Yeah, exactly.
But the college shut.
Exactly.
My
Back
college
in
also
France.
shut.
Yeah. Design schools don't work in India.
Clearly signed.
Which college did you go to?
Social media post
Which college was this?
I went to a school in New Zealand in a
Oh wow.
very small town. वो वहाँ के लोगों को भी नहीं पता होगा कहाँ पर है.
Yes, sir. But you at least got a trip
मिला
out.
कैसे? मिला कैसे?
अभी उसका खत्म करते हैं. बताऊँगा. There was a.
हाँ तो यही है भाई intro ये है. Design is a vast space.
Right.
Was quick to realize that there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
That's about it. And then the next 5-10 years was just pretty much exploring all the niches. I'd still say that I'm exploring. We haven't really, set eyes on कि अच्छा यही करना है.
Well,
So I'm a
never
little
the
bit
case.
here. I'm a little bit of what Tanveer is doing, and then a lot more of what my partners are up to. And that's what you're saying. All of my peers are in different spaces. Some of them are really good footwear designers. Some of them have been in the consumer appliance space.
Right.
So I'm having a joyride with all of these
And
guys.
talk about your company also a little. You run Non-Zero Branding Studio.
So the
It's not a
agency
branding
that I
studio.
run,
Yeah.
it's a product design agency.
Right.
US.
And
right?
yeah, loosely if you can say that. But then we're dealing with a lot. But we have niches within which we work. HMI or interfaces is a big one.
नहीं पता क्या होता है.
So like all devices have some sort of an interaction panel or some connected app. So we design a lot of those for companies in automotive, consumer appliance, electrical
Actual problems.
and a bit of banking work, SaaS,
Yeah.
tech. So that's the space.
Right.
But then we've kept the arts and craft space alive.
Must do that.
क्योंकि अगर वो नहीं होता alive, then मतलब जो दिखता नहीं बिकता नहीं भाई.
But your move into, I mean, how I got to know about a lot of your work was also through ODM.
Okay.
How,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm pretty sure that's the case with all of the folks here, but I think you have some brushes with the music world. कुछ तो होता है. Of course,
They
you're
attend,
thick in the
he
culture,
goes to
right?
Oro, and Anand goes to I see him at
Anand
most
fucking
shows.
designs music videos,
Yeah,
bro.
yeah.
What are you talking about? So I think we had our brush with the deep house space, electronica space. So we probably started.
Yeah.
A group got together. नशे चल रहे थे. और फिर रेडियो स्टेशन
ये भी
स्टार्ट
बोल
कर
सकते
दिया.
Talk about your vices as well. Very important.
My vices.
Yeah.
पहले
तू इंट्रो ले ले भाई सबके पहले.
Intro में ही थोड़ा डाल दो. These are my vices. 4-5
वो
things.
उसके लिए अलग करना ही पड़ेंगे podcast. But yeah, so the brush was with the music space,
Right.
which you were completely absorbed in.
Yeah. And you were always hey, get the fuck out of it for some reason.
100%.
Did anybody read James Blake's rant on Instagram?
No.
Yeah.
What is it about?
Nothing that the
music space.
platform is so limiting.
Instagram?
Yeah.
Okay.
Everything, all the
Yeah.
platforms that he's performed. Basically, by the end of it, it just felt like he's very unhappy with what's happening. And he probably has a solution to it. And I didn't really get to the last
he has
few
a solution
slides.
for it? Okay.
Yeah, like he was coming up with something. It was the sixth slide. I was like, ठीक है अब ये ad बन गई है अब मैं जा रहा हूँ.
अपना Instagram, अपना social media में आ रहा है.
So Aman would have thoughts on that as well, but we'll come to
bro,
those.
100%.
But I think everyone has been facing a problem with social media in general. I read your post that you posted 2 months ago. I recently put out an article. Aman is not on social media, so that says a lot.
I'm on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
He's cool.
No. भाई LinkedIn पे हूँ मैं दबा के लिख रहा हूँ चीजें.
LinkedIn is not social media. LinkedIn वो अपनी अलग लीग है वो.
LinkedIn नोटा
जो कोई पढ़ता नहीं. Problem ये है.
But Tanveer.
Introduction. I'm Tanveer.
Oh, no way.
So,
Really?
no, I started in college. I studied UI UX.
Yeah.
Oh wow.
Where do you go to
I
college?
went to Symbiosis in Pune.
Right.
And I studied UI UX, and I got my first job in UI UX.
Okay, nice.
And it was 2 weeks of that job, and I was like, fuck this, I'm out.
Yeah.
So I immediately left.
तो भाई के साथ उल्टा हुआ है.
Yeah, I was like, नहीं कर सकता मैं. UI UX लिया था because everyone was like, पैसे हैं यहाँ पे, you might as well do it.
But
Might as well do it.
what made you get into design?
I got
पैसे नहीं
into
कमाने थे.
yeah, basically.
मेरे को कॉलेज में डिजाइनर्स बहुत कूल लगते थे, so I started following Anant. I did, of course, Aman through like family and Tanveer. Like these are 4-5 people I used to follow and be like, oh, cool design man.
Design में vibe है.
Yeah, vibe है.
Yeah, नहीं, I got into design because मेरे को actually तो lawyer बनना था. But then I realized कि कितनी पढ़ाई होती है उसमें. So I was like, नहीं, I'll just become a designer. को sketching आती थी थोड़ी.
Okay, nice.
So studied UI UX, did my first job, left it in 2 weeks, and then I was like, fuck, what do I do? I thought immediately I'll try freelancing, but it didn't really pan out. You know, you're just out of college, कुछ नहीं होता उसमें. So actually,
Was this? Which year was this?
this was I think 2018.
Oh wow.
And 2018, yeah. And then I was like, fuck it, अब मतलब क्या करूँ? And then I saw actually Anant had posted on his story looking for interns. I was like, yes sir, please. I DM'd him.
Yeah.
And
अच्छा ये connection है यहाँ पे.
yeah, so
Alright.
I actually worked with Anant for a while. After that, he's taught me a lot.
Yeah.
And उसके बाद मतलब वहाँ पे थोड़ा graphic design का vibe आया, and I was like, fuck it, this is what I want to do.
Right.
So yeah, pushed like after that, went on, did like a bunch of different design jobs.
Where were you working with Anant? What were you running at the time? Moon Rabbit.
No. Moon Rabbit wasn't mine.
Okay.
Yeah, very complex.
Yeah.
So there's so Irregular Studio
Right.
that we have
Correct.
is actually a rechristened name for Bakheda Studios Private Limited, which
Okay.
was a company that I used to run with a partner of mine, Arvid Lithander, in Singapore.
Interesting.
And then the pandemic hit, everybody was badly affected, so we were just like, dude, we're going to be out of business soon, what do we do? And then Moon Rabbit, which is a global agency, I don't know what's happening with them, I've been very out of touch. They acqui-hired Bakheda.
Okay. Got it.
And at that point I was like, maybe I want to do it, maybe I don't want to do it. So
Right.
I kept like a bit of a 10-month buffer with them, worked with them. And then I bought out the India operations
Oh wow.
from Avid and made
Yeah.
it Irregular Studio.
Interesting.
Yeah. Back to
Yeah.
you, please.
So you started working with Anant.
So started working with Anant at Bakheda.
3 years.
2 years, I think. Yeah. But I was his best employee so far. He keeps calling me. He's like, bro, please, कोई अपने जैसा ढूंढ ले, whatever.
Yeah.
Actually, that's very true. Every now and then I'm like, Tanveer, please वापस आ जा.
But Tanveer is a solid guy.
Yeah.
Thank you guys. I like the way the podcast is going. Yeah, no, so finally like worked at different positions, rose up the ranks, and then I was like, अब अपना करना है. So then with my partner Nishtha, I started Studio Supergiant.
This was last year.
Studio Supergiant
No,
is...
before this, you were running a social media agency.
Yeah,
as well
so I
with
was
your brother.
working as a creative director partner at a social media agency. I thought over there I'm going to build what I want.
Right.
But then very slowly I got disillusioned with social media.
Right.
And I was like, nahi bhai, ye nahi hoga.
Yeah.
So about like a few months ago, I think 4-5 months ago, Nishtha and I got together and we launched Studio Supergiant.
Interesting.
That's www.studiosupergiant.com. Yeah. So we launched Studio Supergiant. Now we're doing work that is very creatively fulfilling. So we're a small studio that does big work, hence the name Supergiant.
Yeah.
And that's where we're at. So yeah.
Interesting. Solid. And now, wow, like you worked at a social media agency.
Yeah.
I mean, you were working, that was your own agency as well.
Yeah.
So that's a very interesting topic. I feel like everybody has views on social media work. All of you are designers. I'm not even a designer, I still have views. So I have my own opinion, but we can start with yours. Like, why do designers not want to do like social media work, and why do you put it above like branding work or like automotive work or like industrial work or whatever you guys are up to? Starting with Anant. Actually, Tanveer, before the podcast said had a lot of views on it. So we will start with Tanveer.
Yes,
Cool.
since he has run a social media.
Yeah, since you've
Yeah.
run a social media
No, so
agency.
see, the thing is, like from the outside, everyone's talking about social media, and there's
I've
this-
worked in the same company for 2 months, by the way. I worked with your brother when
Yeah,
he
yeah.
started the agency.
2
Yeah.
And I was like,
That's why he's here.
and he made me make decks for a month, and I was like, "Ye kya hai? Ye nahi
Yeah.
it's numbing my mind. Like I can't do this."
No, it gets a bad rep that you're doing social media, and it is very, very different from, say, doing something like branding or even a website or packaging or something like that, right? The thing with social media is, and this is what like I've prepared for this, right?
Acha,
It's
acha,
like, yeah.
Sir, light
yeah.
down.
Yeah.
One second. Let me take notes.
No,
It's
so
Anand's next LinkedIn post.
yeah. As long as I get some credits over there, right there. But yeah, no, the thing with the social media is it's like running a restaurant, right? You can probably relate. It's like, it's not about doing exceptional work every day. It's about coming in and consistently delivering day after day. The client will never tell you कि आज बढ़िया काम किया है. It'll be like कि आज की मेरी posting नहीं गई. That's when they come to you.
Right.
And that becomes very, very taxing on you, right? Because as designers, you want to have like a little bit of time, you want to explore the work, you want to build something that's like creative, nice. But अगर आपकी deadline end of day है, and आपको सुबह brief मिली है, उसके बीच में client और 10 client हैं, जो सारे रो रहे हैं, what do you like, how do you like get that creative fulfillment over there,
Happy
right?
Diwali तो लिखना है, लिख के खत्म करो,
Yeah.
move on, bro.
Canva, bro, move to Canva. Then your life will be sorted. You'll
No.
make more money.
But everyone who's moving to Canva is actually doing a very good job. Canva has like
lot
changed
of
how
tools.
social media is being done.
Right.
Like you try to do this
This
on
is the Canva ad, by
yeah.
the way.
Canva sponsor the next podcast. But no, it's like you do it on Illustrator, Photoshop, use all your fancy tools. But at the end of the day, client ko chahiye templatized stuff.
Right.
And coming back to my restaurant metaphor for a second,
Correct.
right? It's like if you are serving something that is like, say, braised pork in 24 hours, you've braised it, or however this works. I don't run a restaurant,
Okay,
right?
take 24 hours.
Yeah. You prep the stuff, वो आपका पीछे रहता है kitchen में, and you just like, you know, quick cook it over there and you put it up. Now the thing is, clients have brand guidelines, but जब दशहरा आता है, client को चाहिए something fresh. They're like कि मुझे कुछ नया चाहिए. And it gets really hard for them to understand that आप अगर day to day कुछ काम करोगे, like it compounds over time. Everyone wants like 1 million views, 1 million followers on that one Dashera post.
Yeah.
So yeah, it gets like very, very taxing.
Right. So you're saying it's very difficult to come up with something fresh because the visual language of what they're doing is not aligned, or why can't you come up with something fresh?
No, because if I tell you for 365 days, Kunal, every day you need to give me something fresh.
Yeah.
Like you'll do it for a bit, right?
Yeah.
You'll come up with like cool stuff.
Right.
And some days you'll have like great days, but you'll also have bad days. And again, it's like running a restaurant. Like the reviews will go niche more than they'll go upper, because like once somebody has a bad experience, they have a bad experience.
Correct. Fair enough.
But then you've typically positioned yourself as a post creator. So what's happening here? You're creating posts, right? So that's the SOW or the mandate.
So the SOW has like a lot of strategy and like how you're going to be online and all of that. But when push comes to shove and you're talking to like, you know, a brand manager, XYZ at whatever brand, it's like कि मेरा post का है. Like they don't really care about like कि इसके पीछे क्या strategy है, why. Yeah, it basically.
But then when you're working with a brand, are you just doing posts or are you doing something else as well?
No, you do a lot of other stuff as well. So it's not just social media, right? There's also like, you know, sometimes there's branding work over there as well. There's sometimes website work over there as well.
Do you think social media work should not come to agencies at all, and it should just be done in-house? if like people have the bandwidth to do it, because like now with like so many AI tools with Canva apparently making a huge difference in the entire landscape. It's easier to do your social media on your own. I in fact know a lot of people with good taste who are running like single founder-led companies who are doing their social media on their own, and it doesn't look that bad at all.
No, if you can do that for sure, but like there's also like a major shift happening in the kind of social media that you see today, where you know, like when it was young, it was like, अच्छा मैं design post डाल सकता हूँ. Now it's like social media, you're used to seeing like your friends, you're used to seeing like all these travel posts and stuff. It's a very personal medium. You don't want to see like produced stuff over there. You want to see कि founder मेरे से बात कर रहा है, or they have like a in-house content creator.
Right.
And a lot of agencies don't really get that, and more than agencies, a lot of clients also don't really get that. Like
I'll tell you what they've done now, right? Is उन्होंने post जैसे post बनाते थे ना कि randomly happy Dussehra post. Now it's just a person behind the camera doing it.
Saying
It's basically they've copied those dirty posts into dirty reels, and it's the same damn shit all over again. Like there's nothing fresh.
किसकी बात कर रहे हैं? Founder led brands की.
सारे brands founder led होते हैं, but हाँ सारे
Well, that's a trend, right?
Sorry.
Yeah.
It's also got a lot to do with trends, as you mentioned.
Correct.
I was just reading a report today that Snap and BCG have put together.
the Gen Z one.
The Gen Z one.
अरे I tagged you on that one.
No, I got it a few days ago.
Oh, wow.
And today was the day.
Okay. Leo.
And it's said that the medium has changed so much, and what brands are doing might not be very relevant. And again, you know, when you read these kind of reports, there's always corporate backing to these reports.
Correct.
So who am I to say that this is an actual factual thing? I'm not a controversy seeker in this situation, but in general, like Snap is a brand. Their views in sync with this report made a lot of sense, and the medium has clearly changed. Nobody gives a shit about. They want content. Ugly reel दिखा फटाफट.
And constant churn.
Yeah. Which is not possible for anybody to sit down and do something. And
But
look
वो
nice.
वो कोई philosophically सोचता है?
Do you guys personally watch a lot of these trend related reels के कुछ चल रहा है, तो you just, because if you watch one of these trend based reels, your entire feed's full of like a bunch of these.
I am in a bad trend area. I've been there for a while.
Yeah, no, I see your comments on certain posts and reels, so I know you're leveled with me.
You're on the bad side of the internet.
I'm very happy actually.
ये quality versus quantity का ऐसे discussion नहीं होता कि भाई हर रोज निकालने की जरूरत नहीं है, अभी 4 ही निकालते हैं, चलो इस महीने.
मैंने इनफैक्ट अभी जो आर्टिकल लिखा उसमें ये सब मेंशन किया कि भाई महीने में एक चीज निकालो, बट कुछ दिमाग लगा के निकालो.
But then I'm just curious, are you having those conversations with your...
So again, don't do... Yeah, मैंने तो छोड़ दिया भाई. I was like, नहीं होगा मुझसे. But no, so we've made like a very conscious effort now to not like we're very, very selective in case we do pick up social media. Very selective where we can like do good work which we're proud of. But that conversation always came up कि अगर हम रोज कर रहे हैं तो क्या ही कर सकते हैं, right?
End में achieve क्या करो, impact क्या है?
Exactly.
And then when you say social media, what is it? Is it like impressions? Is it purely content? Is it your responsibility to even get the likes?
So it's basically different clients have like different metrics that they want to map out.
Alright.
And after a point it just gets like, how do you like actually optimize for that, right? Like all these creators and all are also saying ki mera hook dekho, mera hook, like that's how you're supposed to like do it and all. But I mean, it's how much you can get into the algorithm while fighting preconceived notions about where social media was.
Alright.
Okay.
Social media is pushing for a content creator. They don't care about anybody else. So you have to be a content-driven brand, no matter what industry.
So I'll tell you what, like even this article that I've been mentioning, that I wrote, a lot of agency founders reached out to me who do like social media, and they're like, hey, even we want to bring about a change, but the only problem that we're facing currently is that everybody, it's such a traditional norm within social media कि 50 posts देनी है महीने की, तो 50 posts देनी है, इतनी stories जानी है, so it's very deliverable based.
Yeah.
So that's why they're like, we're also stuck with all of your big agencies like
There's not
Shebang and
there's no
like.
creative people on that side.
वही
of
तो
the
Dude,
spectrum.
I was
That's the
working with
problem.
precisely भाई अब मैं कोई किस they're not doing a good job in pre-sales मेरे मतलब why अगर कोई तुम्हारे पास आ रहा है कि कुणाल मुझे 50 पोस्ट बनानी है इसकी then they're looking at you in a certain way.
Correct.
They're not looking guidance from you clearly.
Yeah.
तो कह रहे भाई मेरे लिए 50 बना दे उसको फर्क नहीं पड़ता कैनवा से बने कहाँ से बने
बिल्कुल नहीं.
So I think then you're positioned as a task taker and that's where you're playing a losing game.
Yeah. You're talking about the agency, not me.
Or
But
whoever is doing this.
We took it personally.
तू तो कर नहीं ना whoever is doing this bro.
yeah.
Dude, this is very nice. I'm just like constantly modeling this.
Good, you got yourself some entertainment in the podcast. So that's that. Have you ever done social media work?
Of course, I've done social media. I've been doing this for 13 years now, and I have done social media.
And are you still doing it?
Yeah, now I look at things in a very, very different perspective because I have as I said in the beginning, I do everything except for graphic design.
Right.
And that's made me realize.
But you've done some great work in your career.
Yeah, which I will continue to do in my own ways in other fields, but at the same time, I want to grow a company and not just me.
Right, fair enough.
I know that I'm competent in graphic design. I don't have to prove myself over and over again, but if I have to, I will. That competition streak is not gone. But at the same time, I feel like there are other things in life that I want to learn and build on. This is always going to be there for me to fall back on.
So you mentioned you want to grow the company out, right? And do you think scale can only come from doing stuff like this?
At the moment, there is no business is evolving at such a rate. Like there can be years where you're not doing shit, and business is at an all-time low, and all you're wondering is, "Fuck, is this how it's going to be?" Next year things change, and you are on another fucking trip altogether.
Right.
So you can't, especially with the kind of businesses that we run, we're not frontline workers or in any noble profession as such. He might be.
Yeah.
He's, still probably doing something that makes sense. I personally feel like that we are bringing about a change in people's lives, but people will not die if we don't do our job.
Right.
That's where we are.
Yeah.
Okay, and to get to us, there are many basic existential things that you have to comply with and then get there.
Yeah.
So whenever there is a budget cut, whenever there is shortage of funds, we are the first lot of people to get axed.
Correct.
So why take yourself so seriously? All right. If I do bad work, now I have a flip side to all of this too. That bad work is bad work, but what is bad work? If it's working, if it's delivering the results, if the client is happy and you are happy, you've gotten paid. It's not bad work, it's good work. It's just subjective in your head. You feel like you're competing with somebody else. But hey, you've gotten paid. You have a certain set of people that are working with you who are looking at you for sustenance money by the end of the month. You have to be mindful of all of those things than my personal ego of being like, मैं तो सिर्फ अच्छा काम करूँगा, गंदा काम नहीं करूँगा. That's again privilege, your circumstances. If you're good, then you can say no to work.
Right.
और फिर ऐसे डिजाइनर पैसे भी नहीं कमाते.
Yeah.
Or that's the black hole.
Yeah.
कि मुझे ऐसे ही काम करना.
No, but that's not true, right? Like from what I know, your company makes a lot of money.
Oh, but okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's public, so like.
But then we're playing in very boring niches, no?
Yeah.
मतलब
So what are the
that's
niches that
a
you play
conscious
in?
choice.
Yeah.
Like working for banking clients, deep tech, मतलब जहाँ you won't traditionally find designers, or you at least you'll slog really hard to get in there. But once you're there, you're pretty sorted. It's like booking a enterprise retainer for a product, right? Like the product is scaling every year, and they're dependent on.
Dude, these kind of things, as he mentioned, the scale can only be achieved once you know everything else except for design.
Correct.
Design
It's more
is not
about
going to-
business.
Design is just a service
Yeah.
that you're providing. There are multiple ancillary services that are making the service more valuable because then it's controlled. If it's just free for all the time, then it'll lose its value.
And also, I think design means but in different industries it means different things.
Yeah.
Even within an organization, if you're working with a product or a marketing department, within that organization, two different types of designs are happening.
Correct.
And then now that's why my question is, अगर कोई social media कर रहा है, then probably you should ask them कि what is this helping them with, and get to that metric. Is it helping them sell more? Is it exposure? Is it helping them with the talent?
It's apparently hygiene.
हाँ, so जो भी कर रहे हैं, हाँ तो वो hygiene वाला तो समझ ही नहीं आता है बिल्कुल. But yeah, what is the end impact? Maybe then you can frame design differently.
Yeah. Can good design fix a business problem?
Yeah.
अब वही the design, it's such a great term, bro. You can design policies से लेकर something tangible to intangible, सब हो रहा है design. So
but that's design thinking I'm talking about, like
design हो
If
रहा
you
है
look at graphic design, it's like that very famous case study that came out of Tropicana.
okay.
वो है.
Tropicana, please sponsor this podcast. They changed
Tropicana
the juice.
the beverage.
अपनी podcast के लिए कुछ रख ले.
मैं ही बुलाता हूँ, आप push करो.
Cut देते ना वैसे. No, but basically it's that juice, right? And like you've seen it, they have like that little orange with the straw and all.
Correct.
So this was a few years ago. They did like this rebrand where they changed the packaging and it was this corner with this orange thing. And the sales dropped.
It wasn't bad.
Yeah, like subjectively,
decent,
like design was fine. Like it looked okay, but it just stopped performing. People stopped buying it because they were so used to what Tropicana looked like that when they were on the shelf, they couldn't identify it. So even stuff like that, you can understand that even something like a graphic design on packaging and stuff does make a lot of impact to the business functioning.
It created a problem more than like solving a problem.
I mean, it's the flip
But
side.
sometimes it's a good problem and doesn't need to be solved for the longest time, and that's when those strategic business decisions need to align with design. To answer your question.
Yeah.
MDH has been going on for so many
Same
years,
design,
same
same
design,
everything.
selling superbly. Family has made
Top
ka-ching.
bank, yeah.
So what's wrong? But maybe at this point, they need a redesign.
Yeah, with the
because
new gen, with
how are they going to survive?
Yeah.
With this report that I read today, nobody ain't gonna give a shit about MDH in 10 years.
But like a lot of these, even these traditional companies do get their redesign done. In fact, I was seeing Please See's website like long back. They've done redesign for Parle G. It's apparently there, but you don't see it on the packaging.
That's the beauty of design.
Yeah.
It exists, but it doesn't exist.
Yeah. Yeah, that sounds like ripping people off.
No, design, again, you always quantify design as something that's a visual change.
Correct.
But sometimes a visual change is so subtle that it's not really defying your idea of what it's supposed to be.
Right.
But aiding it and making it, and that's what UI and UX is.
Correct.
This is also user experience.
Correct.
User experience doesn't just stick to what you do on your screen.
Right.
This is a tangible product that you're buying.
Yeah.
But if there is a experience that is delightful in any way,
Yeah.
visually, is also.
I
adding to
read
the
that
visual
book by
experience.
Don Norman. It's called Thinking with Design. No?
The design of everyday
The
things. Yeah.
design of everything.
Both of you are like.
Yeah.
but वही at the end of the day it's common sensical thinking.
Right.
तो ये जो Tropicana मैंने भी किया है, I'm pretty sure that जितने भी Ivy League से MBAs बैठे होंगे वहाँ पे, उन्होंने किसी ने तो सोचा होगा भाई कि इसका डाउनस्ट्रीम इम्पैक्ट ही होगा कि जो सालों से लोग हमारा पैकेज एसोसिएट कर रहे हैं वो शायद भूल जाएं so one sudden day if it's not done well.
Yeah.
So
that's
these
what
are like
happened.
this is common sense.
Yeah.
So but of course common sense is
Not very common.
वो
Whatever. Yeah. Let me also complete things here.
please.
Right? Oh no, I meant like just what you're saying, not the Don Norman thing, but change of like general design landscape in India. The resource outside for graphic design is slightly expensive than how much it costs in India. So it's easier to get clients from there, and now we have like solid resource here, like very good designers. So are people actually capitalizing on something like that? What's the landscape of design in India like right now?
तू पहले ही नैरो कर दिया, तूने क्वेश्चन पूछा ग्राफिक डिजाइन.
Graphic design.
There's already an labor arbitrage happening in India for many other things.
Okay.
TCS Infosys क्या है? So you can easily extend it to the world of design.
No, not everybody knows. Now we're doing a
हाँ,
podcast
so,
to inform people.
अच्छा भाई,
मुझे ये पता नहीं है क्या.
हाँ, so TCS, Infosys भाई अपने सेंसेक्स में सब टॉप कंपनीज हैं और वो लेबर आर्बिट्राज करती हैं. वो बाहर की कंपनीज के साथ काम करती है. इंडिया में टैलेंट है सारा, उनको सिखाती है और वहाँ पे सर्विसेज करती है. They're not tech companies.
Right.
And then you can extend the same thought process to the world of design.
So it's happening. Are you doing it in real life?
We're doing it. Many people are doing it.
Because I know you service a lot of global clients, right? Like international clients, outside of India. Are you doing the same currently, or do you think like the D2C market in India is fairly large that you're able to like?
So we're working with Indian clients for now. We're very young as well.
Right.
And we're just like figuring out how to like tap into this, but yeah, like it's definitely like a space that we're looking at, though it does sort of become like, till you like establish your creds and become like an agency that's been around for a while or done something, it becomes like, you know, Indians have a bad rep.
Yeah.
It's like
So that's the snag, because you're now fighting on price.
Yeah.
So you're always the bottom shelf option.
Correct.
That's not where we want to be as Indians.
Okay. No, I
हाँ, so
completely
मतलब
agree.
resource, of course, we probably अपने sales pitch में होगी that अच्छा last slide पे, okay, we do this great work, but then we'll keep your procurement team also happy.
Yeah.
But that shouldn't be the first slide, is what I'm trying to say.
Okay.
So you're doing that arbitrage, but then do it sensibly.
Right.
You should sell top services regardless.
Yeah. You're doing a lot of work with like global clients.
Yeah.
Right? What's the difference between dealing with an Indian client?
भाई
that you're
कान
working
बंद कर लेते हैं देसी clients. So they're pretty, मतलब the work culture different है.
with? Yeah.
So पता ही यार, तुम बताओ ना थोड़े देसी client stories बताओ please.
DesiClientStories.com.
और clientsifired.com ये भी हो सकता है. That could be a good reel of stories. Anant,
Or what are just like hurdles that you faced or
with desi clients.
with starting out in design and talking to desi clients?
Here, if you're selling, you're selling a lot on not on merit. मतलब you need, तुम्हें दिखाना पड़ता है भाई तुमने ये भी कर रखा है, इसके लिए भी काम कर रखा है, उसके लिए भी काम कर रखा
तो merit ही होता है वो.
है. Merit तो चलो, it's a part of merit, but then they don't have the skills to test you out on the spot whether you're good at it or not.
So, but
What
they're not designers. They can't possibly.
But
test
then
you out.
exactly that's the missing link.
Yeah.
That if a big company is putting out an RFP or a request for proposal, at least जो जिस बंदे को design आता है उस company में वो तो बनाए. देसी RFPs कुछ और ही होते हैं.
क्या होते हैं?
कुछ भी किसी ने कुछ भी लिख दिया है भाई.
थोड़ा कुछ बता.
ChatGPT बनाता है.
हाँ, ChatGPT. तो you know that even if you're working with a big brand, there needs to be someone inside who at least understands your craft or your side of the story.
Yeah.
And that's the missing
that's
link.
what I try to sell with like my consultancy as well, right?
इसने plug मार दिया.
No, but like that's what I'm telling you. Pew, pew, pew. In a lot of companies, half the fucking problem will be solved if they have someone inside that understands what these agencies are doing.
Yeah.
And just help them like strategize better.
So that's where then
a 50 deliverable problem is solved.
100%.
Yeah.
Then you don't spend a lot of time in client education, right? They know जो भी हो. But again, different spaces will
मैं
be
तो पैसे
like,
मांग लेता हूँ client education के लिए.
हाँ भाई, best.
Discovery बोलते हैं इसको.
Best. So we were working with a Chennai parts manufacturer, and they insisted on मतलब UI UX को उन्होंने कुछ market value से graphic design के quotes निकाले और उससे anchor कर दिए थे उन्होंने. And through the whole proposal process, they insisted कि graphic design के rates लगेंगे इधर, UI UX के नहीं लगेंगे. Which in the market traditionally UI UX would be charged a little more.
Yeah.
So it was really hard to then wedge them off, you know, shake them up. भाई के ये graphic design मतलब graphic design अलग चीज है, ये अलग चीज है.
बोल रहा है.
हाँ.
ये हमें तुच्छ
पुरानी, अरे तुच्छ पुरानी नहीं बोल रहा.
Yeah.
नहीं,
No,
graphic
but
design कर रहे थे ना.
But both of you also do UI UX, right?
I don't do any hooks हुई.
हाँ, so उसमें फिर struggle हुई कि उनको ना ग्राफिक डिजाइन पता है ना ये पता है, बट बहुत बड़ा प्रोडक्शन फैसिलिटी है इंडिया का.
Yeah.
Oops.
Cheers.
Self cheers.
No.
Dude, have a sip. You did the cheers.
Okay.
So those are some struggles, man.
Yeah.
No, I think what happens also is that no matter what price point you're playing at, India में कोई है जो 1/10 of the cost पे कर रहा है. So without like somebody at the brand's end being like कि मेरे को पता है कि क्या चाहिए or like what like I'm expecting, it's like कोई 1/10 पे कर रहा है. So 1/10 वाले like you'll always be like compared to that.
Yeah. So but because so people need to understand कि how important design is, right? Like in especially a D2C business कि उसमें तुम price war पे खेल ही नहीं सकते.
Yeah.
Because your business is actually dependent on a lot of consumers that are seeing your profiles,
Yep.
pages, or interacting with your product. So a business can essentially fail if your base of your design is not set right.
Yeah. But again, like that also becomes like very subjective because while, you know, we have certain notions of like design, I think as Anant was also saying, there's this thing I saw with the guy from Bombay Shaving Company.
Yeah, Shantanu.
Yeah, Shantanu. He was talking about how like this dude launched like these brands like this Pet Safa thing. And it's like super Indian, super like, you know, made for Bharat. It's not like good design from like our like sensibilities or whatever, but चल रहा है.
बहुत बढ़िया shit
चल
है,
रहा
but like that's more. So you know about like India and Bharat now, right?
Yeah.
Like apparently like a lot. So I was reading this book called The Future of Work in India, and like it's divided the country into like two parts, which is India, which is all your tier 1 metros, and Bharat into like more tier 2, tier 3 cities. So the products that you make for these, हमारे घर पे बैठ के कोई पेट सफा नहीं खा रहे, maybe खा रहे हैं, मेरे दादाजी खा रहे हैं, yeah, but like it's catered to him, so he does not give a fuck about design,
Yeah.
right? But like also when you realize that in the next few years more than 70% of your population would be the Gen Zs right now,
Yeah.
or your whatever Gen Z, Alpha,
They already
female,
have the highest number of
the youngest population in the world.
is
Yeah.
Gen Z.
Right.
But then, just like how Anant mentioned earlier, design is a lot more than just what you're seeing,
Graphic
right?
design,
हाँ,
yeah.
so पेट सफा जिसने नाम रखा है, I don't know whether you want to say कि designer ने रखा है, marketer ने रखा है, but these are then overlapping functions. जिसने नाम रखा है भाई पेट सफा बिल्कुल फंक्शन के हिसाब से नाम रख दिया
हाँ,
है,
तो function
प्रोडक्ट
का
का
good
नाम
design
ही वो है.
thinking.
हाँ, so डिजाइन करा ना, डिजाइन का that was a good design decision.
Yeah, but like coming back to your point,
Yeah.
which was
Then you've actually not built a name. That's what I would say. Like, I would like to work with you because I know your work, and and then you can charge me a premium for it, right? अब यहाँ पे I can draw an analogy. यहाँ पे there are tattoo artists, and if you like, actually go into any store, वो बोले अरे दिन की 4 बटरफ्लाई आ जाती हैं, वो 10 इन्फिनिटी वाले आ जाते हैं, और ये सब आ जाता है. बस वो लोग उनके पास जाके उनको बोलते हैं हमें ये चाहिए. But then there are of course tattoo artists people would travel for.
Who like do the artwork, build it out. Yeah, exactly.
So I want his aesthetics on.
No, but now imagine if I'm somebody who has the means, right?
Yeah.
But मेरे को चाहिए butterfly.
वो अलग है.
Yeah,
तो जहाँ वहीं जा तू फिर.
You know what I mean?
मैं by the way मैं butterfly भी दे दूँगा.
Anant is like at that stage. He is like okay भाई ले
No,
ले भाई.
I'll make it my butterfly.
वही होता है भाई एंड में तुम्हारा
मैं
लास्ट
पे अपना
टच.
नाम डाल दूँगा.
you sign it off. Yeah.
माँ की जगह
क्या बोला?
MA की जगह AA आ जाएगा.
Yeah. No, but like you were completing your point here.
Yeah, so there's this arbitrage happening.
Yeah.
But that's the thing. If you're playing against
I think
of
arbitrage
price,
is a really funny one.
really.
Every time you said arbitrage, I'm like,
Oh shit, it's ज़्यादा.
no. Not that you said it many times. Like in my head, I'm like, what does it mean? No, I know what it means also, but like,
Yeah.
does it really mean that?
Yeah.
भाई smart audience है इसकी वजह से.
Yeah. हाँ 1000 लोग देखते हैं smart. We can hope for
1,000
it.
audience is a good number to have.
Imagine.
It's a 1000 true friends theory. You put anything.
Yeah, that's best.
No, we're growing, man. We're growing. We're trying. We're getting smart people like you on the podcast.
Cheers to that.
Yes, cheers. Tanveer, you can also like drink a little
Cheers.
bit. Aman, you want a refill on your drink?
No, I'm good, bro.
When
Okay,
I'm
solid.
fine.
नहीं भाई, it's whiskey concealed.
Oh, you're not allowed to show whiskey on the podcast.
Stylistic choices, bhai.
Okay, then.
Yeah.
What direction?
Okay, following up on that question itself, right? Okay, there are certain brands that are coming out of your metros, and I'm not talking about like a paid safa sort of product. I'm talking about कि किसी ने cool t-shirt का brand बनाना है D2C space में to cater to people like us. They also cheap out on fucking good design, and they're also putting out very mediocre design posts and like dirty shoots and like not doing a good job to that pleases my eye, so I won't go and buy it. So that's a purely bad business call to take, right?
100%. तू t-shirt brand बना रहा है अभी वही bad call भाई तो manufacturers कर रहे हैं ads मतलब हम अब वैल्यू चेन में ऊपर पहुंच गए हैं कि मैन्युफैक्चरर एड्स डाल रहा है कि तुम 350 ये जो भी जीएसएम हमसे लो तुम इसकी देखो ये कितना घटिया हुआ है काट के दिखा रहा है कि ये ब्रांड कितना घटिया यूज कर रहा है सो when those guys are doing attacks
right
then step away, do something else.
Let's not digress from the topic. I'm not talking about t-shirts in specific. It can be a oral care brand.
Okay, sahi.
But that has bad design, and but you're in a D2C market where you have to build a community, look cool, engage with your audience, do all these 10 things.
Yeah.
If you're still as a founder who's 35 years old who does not understand decent design,
Stab at 35 years old.
Yeah. Sorry, like
I'm close to 35, so I know.
He's 24 and he doesn't know it.
Okay, yeah.
Right? And so that's just purely like a bad business call. And what I've been observing in the landscape, there are not one, two, there are tens of thousands of these D2C founders that have come into the market with like very mediocre design. So in the future, will these businesses sustain or no?
All of these businesses are VC backed. Okay, so if a VC decides to bankroll this business forever,
तब करेगा
तो sustain करेगा.
तो
फिर वही bad practice बन जाएगी. फिर वो design sensibility हो जाएगी.
आपको पता है मैंने बीच में क्या किया था? I pitched to a few VCs. I was like, hey, I'll help you out with identifying people who have good design and I know may succeed in the future purely on the basis of how good their design is, because that matters to a large audience, right? And good design can mean like lots of things. Plus, do you think when you say that, like if it's VC backed, so are VCs also funding brands that have like more mediocre design? Or
they don't care about your design. See, it's only in the past. I'll tell you a basic analogy. 10 years ago, nobody gave a shit about typography.
okay,
Nobody knew what that word meant except for people like us who are designers.
Yeah.
Okay. And now, every second person that you speak to can say the word type at least to describe type on a thing.
Minimal.
Right? All of these things have come about. And I have forgotten the point that I was trying to make.
with the amount of times I hear people use the word minimal, and I have absolutely no understanding of the word.
Minimal post पे है
ये minimal नहीं बनाई यार, थोड़ी minimal लगनी चाहिए. So like of course also overused, but like half the point is कि इतना gatekeep किया हुआ है, मतलब designers ने design को, तू कैसे बोल रहे हैं?
हाँ वो बहुत ज़्यादा चलता
है ना?
थोड़ा elitism है डिज़ाइन और म्यूजिक में भी.
हाँ कल्चर में तो बहुत
वो कहते हैं ये गाना तो ये जॉनर तो मैंने दिल्ली को सुनाया है तो अच्छा ऐसा हो रहा है. अरे तो आई थिंक है काफ़ी ज़्यादा.
यार when you become an artist ना, I just met a friend for lunch the other day and she was telling me about this gentleman who was the CEO of a very big public company for many years, and then he took a sabbatical and then never came back to the corporate life and became a writer. He's written 3 books she talked about, probably more.
Yeah.
I don't know of him. I'm telling you the story verbatim. That fuck man, I'm forgetting the point that I'm trying to make right now.
लंबा दिन खिंचा है भाई आनंद का. काम करके सीजन्स
And
चल
like
रहे हैं अभी बहुत. हैलोवीन भी चल रहा है, दिवाली भी चल रहा है, तीनों सीजन चल रहे हैं भाई.
मैं भी बहुत आगे चला गया हूँ, ऐसा लग रहा है मुझे पीछे आना पड़ेगा.
But will you finish your point? Or no?
I am completely blanking out right now.
I think we need
exactly,
another
so you
round of
have-
drinks. तब थोड़ी zone में बसे.
I feel like you have a lot of work going on, right? And that's what you said when you walked in as well. कि अभी you have a lot of commitment, so you can't pick up more work. Do you think that's a big scaling issue for design agencies in general?
100%.
Like, are you personally too tied to the business so you can't really grow the business?
Yeah.
That's true for any services business.
Correct.
You start off as a professional yourself. Graphic design is my passion.
Yeah. It is.
But then slowly you're wearing the sales hat.
Yeah.
फिर भाई अकाउंटेंट के साथ बैठ के ये करो, फिर पता लगता है GST 2 भी है, कुछ वो भरना पड़ता है, लीगल भी करना. So I think over time, if you're scaling the business, then it's the common thumb rule, right? You don't have to work in the business, work on the business, and then you have to step away from these roles, professional roles, and then you're doing so many things, man. तब तो you say don't say no to anything. तब तुम अपने बैंक अकाउंट में देख रहे हो कि अच्छा नेक्स्ट 4 महीने की का रनवे है, सैलरी है, मैं खुश हूँ.
जितना आप डिजाइन में आगे बढ़ते हो उतना you realize you move from like the Adobe suite to the Microsoft suite.
Yeah, like you from a designer you become an entrepreneur.
From
And then,
Figma
yeah.
to Excel, basically. Yeah, जो भी हाँ, alternative.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So what do you do to like scale your business at the end of the day? Are you more personally tied into it? Is it social media काम उठा लिया?
so scale the business.
Yeah.
So services businesses can be scaled in मतलब there of course you can be creative and do so many things.
Right.
But there are only a few steps which actually help you grow the business. Either expand geographically,
Yeah.
maybe then figure out new services. If you have a deep account or a client, see what else can you help them with. It's accounts based selling away. So there are a few things that you can do, but again, scaling entails a lot of hiring. So that's the fucking headache.
But whenever I speak to you, you're always like, "Oh fuck, I'm busy. Don't talk to me. Don't call me." Maybe answer it.
I don't think that's work related.
That's a good excuse as well.
Yeah, no, but like you always. So what he does is he picks up the phone and he puts me on. Like he just puts the phone down and he's on a call.
तो मैं कहता हूँ कुल्लू तंग मत कर भाई, तो दे सुन ले, चल रही कॉल.
Exactly. So मतलब, do you think you, because of this, like you lack free time?
No, I would rather fill up all my calendar because I love what I do, man.
Okay, fair enough.
So मुझे मजा आ रहा है. And that's in fact a discussion I had with my partner कि भाई अगर ये पैसे नहीं भी मिल रहे हो और हमें करना हो next 10-15 साल, हम करते रहेंगे. But then I think it's also what you set a challenge for yourself. We want to grow the business.
Right.
We want to get into bigger corpuses, right? We हमें चाहिए. And then, yeah, that's a good challenge to solve for. It's a different kind of challenge.
Yeah.
And I think that's where you need to wear different hats. Because designers, artists, जो ये हैं हम सब, वो तो too idealistic in our thinking.
Yeah.
मैंने बोला था ना, we are at the extreme end of needs and wants.
Yeah,
What we feel the world needs.
Maslow's hierarchy में बिल्कुल.
Yeah, that's true.
Maslow's pyramid में हम बहुत self-actualization पे.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
क्योंकि बाकी सब भाई लोगों को खाना आने नहीं मिल रहा.
Why not?
क्या बातें कर रहे
All of you have like great sense in design. Why not launch your own product? And that can be anything, because like you have such great design sensibilities. You've worked with enough.
Yeah, so that's where you
founders.
realize design is not enough.
जब वो बोल रहा था कि मैं अब नहीं करना चाहता ये, मैं I'm
But उन्होंने
starting
तो
on
अभी
it.
1 महीने पहले नया स्टूडियो स्टार्ट किया.
4 महीने हो
नहीं,
गए
अब
bro,
उसको
4
पैसे नहीं
महीने
बनाने.
Yeah.
नहीं, we have a running joke. Basically हमें social media के बहुत requests आते हैं. And I'm very adamant कि like mostly it's a no, right?
Right.
So Nishtha, my partner, she says ki, "Oh, of course, I forgot. In this company, we hate money." And I'm like, "Yeah, of course."
Yeah.
In fact, that we met Don Norman very recently. वो सब यही कर रहा था. Somehow designers just hate companies that make money for some reason. That's exactly the thing. But
So there is also a thing where people want to make good brands, right? Like, and they don't have all the money in the world. If I want to start a brand tomorrow, I may not. Now I know you guys. Non-Zero did the branding for genre in like a very not the cost that they usually charge.
जो 100%
And
घर की बात है क्योंकि.
but that's because I know great designers like you. But if someone wants to start their business and they're looking for good design in their brand, what can they do?
www.studiosupergiant.com.
Yeah. No, but like अगर किसी को, if someone understands good design and they have only 50,000 rupees to get their entire logo, identity, everything done, what do they do?
get more money mostly.
Educate,
like,
no more. I think educate themselves
100%.
before starting a brand.
Okay.
What does it entail?
Right.
Because there are many levels of design companies, all of them doing good work in their own setups for different scale of clientele that exists.
Right.
You need to identify yourself that what level am I at, what amount of money I want to spend, and what are my expectations for it.
Okay.
If you can do that, good design can actually help you. If you can't, then you end up paying more, because varsity level of design increases the more you pay, because then you're actually, when you go to a doctor, a proficient doctor, you are willing to pay whatever buck you want, right?
Right.
That's for a reason. I'm not saying that we are doctors or we should be
Yeah,
compared
yeah,
to
yeah.
doctors, but it's a professional
You're
at the
a
end of the day,
design
a
doctor.
service professional
Yeah.
who's rendering the service to you because of the knowledge that they've
Right.
accumulated over
But
the
there
years.
people have insurance. So
Don't come to that level. No, then go to a government hospital.
yeah.
There is a government hospital of design also. It doesn't mean that it doesn't work.
Yeah.
But it exists because there is a market for it. So go there.
Okay.
If you know that you can't be covered.
Fiverr पे जाओ.
Yeah, exactly. And there's no harm in doing that, dude. It's the scale of your business. You know how much you can spend.
Right.
Don't expect a fucking private jet in the cost of a
Maruti, dude.
whatever.
And in year one especially.
Yeah.
Matlab, your first aim, if you're starting off a business, your first aim is to survive.
Yeah.
So you can cut the fluff and see what it takes to get to the second year.
Yeah.
And in many cases, you don't even need graphic design or मतलब product निकालो, अपना service निकालो, बेचने की कोशिश करो. You need to be sales heavy or जो भी your GTM is. Then try to get the first buck in.
Yeah.
And then
Then
get the ball
redesign.
rolling.
Right.
And then when you again have the
Cash
bucks and then think. But then there are some businesses that if your proposition is a luxury or a lifestyle brand, then I am expecting the founder in himself or herself to be really fluent with these things.
Got it.
Then otherwise don't start a luxury or a lifestyle business. This is my personal
No,
thing.
of course. You
But
need
why
to be
you
well
have
versed in
views against starting like a D2C business?
That's a business choice, because I know I can scale the services side, and
Right.
there's a deep pool there to be still tapped on. But then, as I said earlier, we've actually internally do a lot of spec work,
Correct.
and we've trademarked a dozen brands internally.
If
Just
you can
as
explain spec work.
spec work is work for funsies,
Okay.
for fun,
Yeah.
and that helps us as a training ground. But then I know I will never probably work in FMCG or D2C space or hospitality. But
or
then
arts or crafts.
हाँ तो वही, क्योंकि भाई अच्छे बड़े लोग बैठे हैं यहाँ पे, तो फिर at least internally train कर सकते हो. Those are good pieces where you can teach a lot of basics of visual design.
Right.
So, but by doing that, we realized it became such a good conversation piece that I spoke to a lot of founders and realized what it actually takes to build a business ground up.
Right.
And there's a lot more than just design. Well, if you just do the P&L or calculations for, say, if you're building a toothpaste oral brand you mentioned earlier, just figure out कि अच्छा अगर आपको मॉडर्न बाजार में बेचना है या एनी रिटेल स्टोर, उसका खर्चा कितना होगा. अभी तो तुमने डिजाइन भी नहीं करा है, तुम पहले खर्चे तो कैलकुलेट कर लो कि कितने होंगे. और फिर अगर तुम D2C अटैक करो तो वेबसाइट कोऑपरेट करने में, पैकेजिंग डिजाइन में उतना कितना खर्चा होगा.
Logistics, dude, shipping.
Yeah.
शिपिंग, वो सब रिटर्न. लोग को ये नहीं पता कि जब प्रोडक्ट बनाने जाते हैं भाई कि उसका MOQ भी होता है कि, और फिर किसी मैन्युफैक्चरर से बात कर रहे हो तुमसे
बिक तो रहे हैं मैन्युफैक्चरर
100%. अब वो टी-शर्ट वाले बिक रहे हैं, टी-शर्ट वाले. And then you're talking to the manufacturer, तुम उनको बोलते भाई 500 पीस.
I mean, nowadays there are those bloggers also that go to China and show you यहाँ पे आप ये product बना सकते हो.
वो जो बोट कर रहे हैं डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन.
Bro, at the end of the day, game तो यही है कि सब चाइना से जाकर ही प्रोडक्ट उठा रहे हैं.
Because that's the MOQ hurdle.
Correct.
Because you will call any manufacturer here, you'll tell them मेरे को 500 यूनिट चाहिए, वो फोन काट देगा. तुम डिजाइन तो दूर की बात है, यहीं पे प्रोडक्ट ही नहीं बना तुम्हारा.
करेक्ट. बट तुम चाइना जाकर ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व कर सकते हो.
कर सकते.
बट देन I know these new toothbrushes that are in the market.
I know who you're talking about.
I don't know who you think I'm talking about, but I'm not talking
We
about
can name
anybody in
names, right?
particular. Yeah,
No,
you
I'm
pick.
just
you,
saying.
you
I'm
can-
just taking. I'm thinking of names. I'm making a story in my.
Yeah.
I'm visualizing it. I'm
So I'll
graphic designing it.
I'll tell you what happened. So I was using this toothbrush. A friend sent it to me. He started an oral care brand. I went to stay at another friend's house, Vedant's house, and I was in his washroom and I saw the same toothbrush. And I sent a picture to my friend who was running this brand saying, "Oh, even he is using your toothbrush." And he's like, "Oh, that may not be my product. It may be this brand." So then it is purely a fucking design game. What game are you playing if everybody's selling
So
the same
that's the
product?
branding game.
It's a branding game.
Because product अगर same है,
Correct.
commodity बन गई ना फिर
Yeah.
तो फिर किस पे खेल रहे हो अगर
Then
10
you need purpose. And
then-
for that, visit irregularsalliance.com.
अच्छा ये
How was
सब
that?
है।
How was that, my friend?
यहाँ पे भाई एक्वी हायर होने वाला है सुपर मुझे लग रहा है फिर से also that's a branding game.
Yeah. And that's a game that you're not in as much.
Yeah, but
I
there
mean,
are
if
good
people
players
pay
in
you
भाई.
nothing, yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, maybe man तो ढूंढ सकते हैं. We can find a space to launch a product.
Yeah.
But again, as I said, there are hurdles apart from design
Yeah.
that we've got to solve for.
Why would you not start a brand?
So that's something that is TBD.
Okay.
That's like basically the goal, because like with Supergiant, the idea is to have like a boutique agency, do like work that is creatively fulfilling, but use that as like a launch pad.
Okay.
And in sort of thinking about that, like I've also faced like the whole thought process of कि design हो जाएगा, but उसके around क्या?
But you think
but-
that money is in creating a product at the end of the day.
Money is everywhere. You just have to tap into it.
Okay.
Yeah, boom.
That's all.
That can be the snippet for the podcast. Yeah.
Right.
Boom.
Money is.
No, but a lot of people think like that. Why haven't you have started a sort of a product?
I thought you were going to
business
ask me, have you
newspaper?
made money?
No, why have you not thought of like
What is the product only? Yeah.
exactly?
Irregulars.
Yeah. Correct.
Yeah, I have many grand. Every day I wake up, for the first half an hour, I don't do anything except for think, कल मैं ये बनाऊंगा, परसों मैं ये बनाऊंगा, और फिर उसके अगले दिन ये बनाऊंगा. बनाता मैं कुछ भी नहीं हूँ. But there are unrealized plans. Who doesn't want to do fun things? Yeah, at the end of the day. But you got to cater to your circumstances. Be mindful of what you're doing. Focus on the primary source. Do what you can with the secondary source.
Right.
Play your cards right in these situations because, dude.
But it's not difficult for a guy like you to create a product, right? You have the credibility, you have good sensibilities in design.
I'd rather be a part of somebody's business who's making a product and I'd be a partner there because then I can offer that as a service rather than me trying to, photo my head on a wall and be like, I'm going to make this today.
Yeah.
There are plenty of people who have that intent. I don't have it.
Yeah.
My intent is, अगर तुम्हें को branding चाहिए बहुत तगड़ी and you want to sell your brand, make a product that's kick-ass, we'll figure it out.
Right.
Come, let's do that.
Yeah.
I will bring this to the table. You bring that intent to the table to run this brand.
Right.
I will take care of everything else.
Huh.
I'd rather do that.
Huh.
Whereas my own products are concerned, I know that I don't want to sell my products to everybody.
Got it.
I want to retain that to myself first, keep it to a smaller, and that's not my money making business.
Got it.
Money making can happen. I
Yeah.
can diversify in many other ways than selling my art. I'd rather keep that to myself, and then when I'm ready, when I feel like I have actualized that hierarchy.
When जब double zeros 10 zeros आ जाए बैंक में
Exactly.
Yeah.
तब
How do you reach the 10 zeros with a service based business?
भाई बताओ
रो
भाई.
रो के.
Oh yeah, answer was you'd never reach. But you can. I think TCS, Infosys have done it.
Yeah.
but वो तो भाई कॉलेज में जाते हैं ट्रक लोड लोग उठाते हैं.
Yeah. किसी ने AIB वाली वीडियो देखी?
Yeah.
College.
I think that's what I'm referring to.
लेबर चौक देगा किसी ने.
तो
लेबर
वो
चौक.
TCS Infosys है भाई.
TCS Infosys literally goes to colleges and picks up people by the hordes. They don't care about what you do or what you're capable of. There is a bare essential that somebody needs to survive. We will give you that in return, we want everything that you have,
Yeah.
every speck of life that is in you.
Yeah.
We will take it and make profits. And there's nothing wrong with that. Business is business, right? These are people who haven't had the means and are gullible and are falling into that trap.
Right.
And that's why when they say India is going to be the biggest economy, because we have just sheer number.
Of
It's a
people.
mammoth.
Correct.
And everybody cannot be an entrepreneur. Everybody cannot be
Yeah,
as
yeah.
cool or be privileged. First of all, plays a
Exactly.
very big role.
Huge
We
role.
are all privileged lot,
Correct.
and we can say this easily. But
Right.
everybody doesn't have that zeal
Yeah.
or that go. All they want is that 2 time ki roti on their plate and have some kind of sense of respect.
Right.
Right? That's where the bare essentials are at for this country. So design, when I say design, we are a very privileged lot to be sitting here and having this conversation.
Correct.
Design.
Yeah, it's not cheap. It's not cheap to produce this podcast either.
Yeah, exactly. It's by design.
Yeah, exactly.
It's by design that
Correct.
it's not cheap to produce,
Yeah.
because it's meant for somebody
Yeah.
that can actually afford it.
Yeah. Tell me something about your assholic clients. Like, have you had like assholes you've dealt with?
हाँ भाई
ठीक है यार, safe space.
नहीं ये अब I mentioned
Publicly
one
नाम मत
already.
लियो.
मैं mentioned one already.
No, to rephrase the questions, you face like difficulties with like a lot of clients.
Like you don't start working with someone who's
Difficult.
सामने पैसे दिया उसने तुमसे कल से चालू कर दिया काम करना
But तुम ऐसे काम कर चुके हो, like from what I know.
करने पड़ते हैं यार, business
करने
बड़ा करना
पड़ते
तो यही
हैं।
करना पड़ता है।
शुरू में I think yes you can't choose.
But घूम फिर के the listed company that I was working, the project that we were working on together, that was also like pretty like yo okay काम करवाया, and then they were like hey we shelved the product now, like we were like भाई इतनी मैंने case study बनाई इतना अच्छे से भाई
हाँ no
दोबारा
that
काम
because
किया।
वो that's not assholic तो नहीं है वो.
हाँ पैसे दिए
That's
yeah
business reality.
हाँ वो उस they didn't have the foresight
yeah
to know कि क्या क्या hurdles आएंगे.
Yeah.
और जो उन्होंने calculation करी थी उसका 20x निकला असली में reality जब when they reach the vendors and the
जब
market.
मैं बोल रहा था कि क्लाइंट को खुद को पहले एजुकेट करना है अपने आप को, this is exactly what I was trying to say.
got it
Why bloody jump the gun? Yeah, there are
Yeah.
so many businesses that come to us also.
Yeah.
Like हमें ये भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए, ये भी चाहिए. क्यों चाहिए? क्यों खर्च रहे हो इतने पैसे?
right
Can you afford it first of all? You want it in this much time, it'll even cost more. I am happy doing it. I
Yeah.
will do it.
you need
You
it
pay more.
Yeah.
You need it from me. I'm happy taking your
Yeah.
money and enjoying and giving you whatever you want. But is it going to be worth it?
Yeah.
Am I then just doing a lip service to the job?
right
Take your call accordingly.
right
And in that situation, then you realize, then the client also realizes that, okay, if I'm going to be trusting somebody with my money, especially in double-digit lakhs at least, I need to be sure this person is going to give me the right advice or have that foresight for us. Because service business is not just, as I said, the actual work that you're doing, but it's also telling them, हम कहीं से सोच समझ के ये डिसीजन ले रहे हैं आपके
Right.
लिए, रुक जाओ.
And
नहीं
then
करना
if
है
you're
आपकी-
working
Yeah.
especially with founders, then they're even more perked by तो ज़्यादा हो जाता है उनके साथ. They're more concerned. Depends on who you're working with, but then again, at that stage, before people are whimsical.
I have come to that point where we work with companies that have design teams that want to grow with design.
So that's exactly they're assessing folks in your pre-sales या जो भी.
Yeah.
Whether you want to work with them in terms of
What are
ये
pre-sales?
Pre-sales as in when you're having early conversation, you are not just vying for their money. You're also assessing whether they'll be good partners, they'll be fun to work with, respectful, and उसमें अगर 10-5 बातें कर रहे हो तो उसमें समझ आता है लोगों के साथ बात करके कि at least they like appreciate us or will do that and they'll respect us down the line. अब now that's also on you on how good are you in judging people.
right
But then if you're doing this over and over again, वो vibe या जो भी you
you do the vibe check
catch
yeah
it on really
With a
early.
bigger company, there's always an assertion and the idea of things being professional if you know your boundaries. See, India is a service market.
yeah correct
Totally. We are a service
70%
country.
yeah 70% of businesses in India are services
Exactly.
yeah
तो the client or the buyer always has that advantage. But if you clear your boundaries from the get-go and be like, भाई ये वो दुकान नहीं है जहाँ पे 100 का सामान 70 में मिलेगा और उसके बाद मैं तेरे को घर भी छोड़ कर आऊँगा. तेरे को 100 का सामान 70 में चाहिए, 5 दिन बाद आइयो, जब मेरे पास कोई बचेगा मैं तेरे को 70 का दे दूंगा. उसके बाद ये मत एक्सपेक्ट करियो कि मैं तेरे को बाहर तक छोड़ने आऊँगा. तूने ऑलरेडी मेरे 30 रुपए खा लिए. Just set that expectation.
कह रहे उंगली दी थी, हाथ खींच लिया बस. हाँ, but this my experience. I've actually I feel it's easier to work with bigger companies than first.
It is because first of all there is hierarchy to the structure. There are people who are doing certain jobs and they are the key decision makers in that scenario. Of course, their ass will always be on the line in front of the executive board and the key stakeholders, but still they are the ones who are making the decision. So it's always good to have a rapport. First of all, understand, are these the people that will be listening to you? And also, it's not like they just have to listen to us. You also have to understand what their problem is. There'll be times when a client will come to me like, please help me out over here. This is what I need. Just get it done. I'm happy to do that because then I know this is the reality and the expectations will be set accordingly.
Correct.
Because in my head, I always want to do good work. I will do award-winning work if you've given me a task. But then if you tell me मुझे कल चाहिए और मुझे ये चाहिए वो चाहिए, like फिर तुम्हें ये मिलेगा. मैं अभी बता रहा हूँ क्योंकि मैंने करा हुआ है पहले, इसलिए मैं बता सकता हूँ.
और वो again I think negotiations में भी समझ आ जाता है.
Exactly.
कि अच्छा ये डाल दो, अच्छा ये काट दो, अच्छा इतना क्यों है, टाइमलाइन कम कर दो.
Procurement, the bane of my life, man. I hate speaking to procurement folks.
Yeah, so I think in those conversations.
How okay are you dealing with like people like this? Like procurement people. For example, when I give work to my graphic designer, I also tell her कि हाँ printer से भी बात कर लियो, उससे ये भी निकलवा दियो, वो भी निकलवा दियो. But like that's not her primary.
We charge for that.
Okay.
We charge a certain percentage on the printing bill because we know that if you're working with us, then your printing will be at least a certain amount.
Correct.
And these are small overheads that we will take this percentage.
Do you
for.
charge the client or do you get the commission from the printer?
Client, we charge a production fee.
Alright, basically, but you could have sourced that commission from the printer as well.
I could, but why? If printers are small businesses here, I like supporting printers.
Yes.
Yeah. And I work with like a bunch of different printers, so it's, and I've had long relationships with them now, so it's.
That's exactly
an
वही तो.
economy, yeah, that I'm
Because
catering to.
vendor तो change नहीं होगा, vendor तो same ही रहेगा.
Depend करते हैं location to location, vendor change हो सकता है.
Possibly.
But you guys have been, you all of you run your own studios and agencies and businesses. Do you consider, you all are designers, what do you consider yourselves to be more of an entrepreneur or designer first?
Sales guy, why?
I am
These
a. I wouldn't even just call myself a sales guy. I feel for people a lot, so I'm a very people's person as well.
Yeah.
But sales is a part and parcel.
Exactly. Sales is
People's game.
Exactly. And
but I'm more like internal than basis that external.
So many people think that sales be it's like a push game.
Yeah.
But then over time I realized it's actually just sitting down, listening to what's cooking there, understanding the basic needs, rather than pushing what you have.
Right. So it's
and then sales in that sense philosophically is happening everywhere. You're negotiating for salaries.
right.
You're negotiating for good prices with vendors. So that's a core skill you need almost everywhere.
But there are also multiple operations that you need to run. as
Oh,
well,
100%.
right? And you're also jumping from project to project.
Oh, yeah.
So does that actually keep you like very creatively involved? Are you able to give your best?
The more you run a business, like the more you realize ki as much as you want to be a designer, like you have to do all of this. Because like I can get a designer to come in and like do the design work. I can't get like a person to come in and do the business running work. So yeah, I mean, I also find myself, I try to be as involved as possible in design itself. But then I also need to draw a boundary where like it's like, theek hai, like I have a bunch of other things that I need to do for the business to run.
Correct. So then if you're primarily doing business work,
Yeah.
then why not start a business?
It is a business.
It is a boy.
Service business is a business like
Even
consumer
one
business.
freelance.
This is also consumer business, but like you know what I mean.
You're passionate about certain things and you
Okay.
like doing them, and you might as well continue because you see that you foresee, not you.
Yeah.
You don't see. You foresee that this is something that I can do in the longer run rather than
Right.
just doing that.
Yeah.
तो you have a pitch for us तो भाई भसाड़ा है product business बनाने में मतलब I'm you've pushed
You're launching a product business soon.
am I?
The cookies brand that you're talking about.
Oh, that's a completely different deal altogether.
Okay.
We realized, of course, annually we were gifting things to our partners, our friends. Then
So you decided, oh, we have money, let's just buy the business.
yeah, and then we'll be our first clients.
Yeah.
So that's how we started the cookie business, bro.
Yeah.
And then of course my partner Deep, his partner, his
Yeah.
wife,
Yeah.
is a baker.
now.
So
Okay.
soon to be.
Yeah.
So जब when so many checklists check हो रहा तो then that's the easy move to make.
Right.
So I think that's what you were saying. You were saying that you have so many ideas that you're cooking up. I'm pretty sure you do. And then we've been doing this for the last 7 years.
Yeah.
अब जो idea हमें दिखता है कि अच्छा ये यहाँ पे बंदा मिल गया, ये हो गया, इसको execute कर देते हैं. And so then you take a chance upon it.
Yeah.
But we're not too stuck on it कि अच्छा यही करना है. But भाई एक जगह से रोटी आ रही है उसको बंद मत करो, करते रहो.
You look for wherever you can get an unfair
Yeah,
advantage.
income should be from diverse.
Sure.
But make sure that you have something from somewhere at least.
Yeah,
In the attempt to do so many things, people just lose out their gas and steam. That's the only.
And that's what you keep guiding me about.
Really?
Yeah.
कि भाई focus कर ले.
Yeah.
हाँ, क्योंकि मैं I'm just saying, trying to inculcate the same advice.
Okay.
मैं
So you're
कुछ
just
आता है.
projecting your insecurities on me.
Of course. और मुझे दिख रहा है तू करने वाला है तो मैं पहले कर देता हूँ ना तेरे को रोक देता. I know you're going to do it, so I would probably.
That's fucking gaslighting, man. Don't be doing that.
ये अच्छी advice को ऐसा बोल रहा है भाई.
Podcast cancel.
Yeah, but you've got to focus somewhere at least, and
Right.
that's pretty, I think, common advice to all founders, especially agency founders. Niche down somewhere,
Got it.
which
How do
we
you
haven't
pick your,
at all. by the
have
way.
you picked your niches yet?
No.
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 I have branding is my niche. That's
Yeah.
something that I know that I can make money off and
Yeah.
sustain my lifestyle.
Yeah.
I want to continue to grow that, and then other things that I like doing, I'll keep tinkering with them every now and then. If it fails, it fails. Like, I am not a person who will be afraid of failing. If I fail, I fail. I started a video production vertical last year. We did amazing, fantastic work,
Right.
honestly. But then this year, I was like,
मजा नहीं आ रहा.
I don't want to do
Have
it.
you seen Bharat Sikka as well?
Yeah, of course. I've
Pretty
seen
fucking good, bro. Like I saw that Jindal Steel ad, and
Yeah.
like this friend of mine, Ritvik, who runs Archive, was telling me all about it. Like that he's done the ad, and like seems pretty. He's a photographer primarily. And, like
No, he's been a director also for the
Yeah?
longest time. He runs Flying Pigs Productions and Ransom.
okay, no
Ransom
idea.
Films.
So-
I know of his photo work that he's done.
So you were
That's the
playing
artist side
around
of
it, yeah.
with the production side, and then which
Yeah,
was
I
a recent
toying
move.
around with.
Toying
I've
with-
actually worked with Bharat Sikka on a film also. for
Okay,
a-
sweet.
We did music videos, we did commercials, we did TVCs.
You bought
vision
all the
films.
equipment and shit.
No, I
As
didn't buy
a
it.
rent,
Why
वही
you
तो.
rent it? यार? Why do you want to buy
Exactly.
it?
So that
I didn't have that high level of
वही
commitment. I was like, I want to see how this works.
So, but that became a good part of your portfolio, of course.
Yeah, for a year we just did films. Dude.
Oh wow.
Oh,
Did quite a few of them, but then it's not like it failed.
right.
I was like,
You just lost interest.
I don't want to do it.
Yeah.
This is
Bhai.
something that's not. Huh?
फिर हम किसी ऑपरेटर को ले आया करो कि भाई ये मैंने विंग चालू कर दिया है. अच्छा इसको चालू रखते हैं अब. इसका ये गोल है. I am moving away. You can do that.
Yeah, I know. I did that also,
Yeah.
but I am actually, when I say GD is my passion, GD is what gave me my identity. GD is graphic design.
Of course.
I owe a lot to this profession and this trade that I'm in. So I'd like to keep the sanctity of it alive and do things when I feel like I'm ready for them rather than rushing them.
Right.
I think it was a great experiment. It's not like I'm saying no to filmmaking or I'm not gonna do it again. I just need to find the right people.
Got it. So
I-
you're not able to
I
find
thought-
the right people?
Huh?
Were you not able to find the right
No,
people?
we
at
had
the
a
time?
great team,
Yeah.
but I wasn't ready for it.
Okay.
I need to be ready for it, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to take my own time to be ready that I am cool dealing with all of this bullshit now, and I will do it. Because then I have design business to also run.
But why can't you give someone else to run that business? I mean, get someone else to run that business.
I can, and that's why I said when I got here that now I'm trying to do everything else except for, because so far everything was running on design.
Correct.
And if I keep doing that, and while I started this film and studio vertical, I realized that everything is still running on design. It's not like we're losing money,
Yeah.
but there will be a point where this might start hurting us financially. So I need to start this year, this financial year, to let go of certain things and then take that decision. Okay, have somebody running the design division first before I move to the film side of things, because then I can actually enjoy it.
And I have to pay salaries, man. You've got to pay the salaries.
Yeah, I got to pay salaries at the end of the day.
No, you also you've picked your niche somewhat.
So no, but we're
I
pretty.
mean, it's not within industries, but it is more industrial design.
No. In fact, it's within industries. So we have
Okay.
different. We know how to do sales in different industries, and it happens pretty differently for different industries. That's the game.
Yeah.
But in some places, we're pretty much banking on word of mouth,
Yeah.
and those are big contracts, and those are contracts that you can only get through that pool of people. And we don't mind doing that. I can see we can still grow just on that motion a lot in the coming years. But then if you're doing a lot of, say, lifestyle brands and whatnot, you've got to make a buzz. You've got to be good at making the buzz itself. So it's more marketing-led than sales-led.
You focus on branding of your own studios.
Oh, 100%, yeah.
Yeah.
That's
you recently started.
Especially for the talent side, right? Like
You
Yeah, I mean,
started
just
off-
started, so I had to like put
Yeah.
something together.
Well,
But
what's behind the Godzilla on your website?
it's like had to put something together really quickly.
Yeah.
Embodies super giant very well.
Sometimes it works, dude.
Goes with the name.
Like he thought about it. He's like, fuck God.
My copyright
Hey.
was already, he put the question. I was like, stock video.
Yeah, it sticks. It sticks. It's like something to identify by. So we're leaning into it for now.
Interesting. Also, have you've picked your niche? You wanted to branding.
So we're doing branding, packaging, website, but like we're also doing like other stuff again, just exploring. Like one of the things we're doing right now is like a launch campaign for this real estate brand. So yeah, just like playing around, seeing what like works, what doesn't, and yeah.
How do you define success in the field of design or entrepreneurship for yourself? Is it money related? Is it the kind of work that you do, people you collaborate with? How have you been able to define success? Have you defined success to yourself right now?
So it's a mix of all of these things. Like obviously, like the paycheck is like table stakes.
Yeah.
If I'm not earning money, then like there's no conversation about success, right? After that, it comes down to, am I proud of the work that I'm doing? Am I working with people who I want to work with?
Yeah.
Am I getting good talent on board to do good work? So stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, it's all underpinned by like, paisa ban raha hai ki nahi?
Yeah.
Like without that, the conversation doesn't start. Yeah.
same deal, bro.
No, पैसा तो bro देखो कुछ और भी करके बन जाता
For
है.
me personally, I would say I'm enjoying the work right now.
Okay.
So there's peace of mind. I'm working with all of my good friends.
Yeah.
You were a part of the team,
Right.
and so we're having fun, bro. So we're taking the ship somewhere. I don't know where.
As
but
long as
it's
you're
all
having
together.
fun.
We're in the game, as the name says. We're playing a positive sum game, bro.
Yeah.
So that's the end goal.
I think success is a very fleeting feeling because everything that you aspire for or want at some point comes to you, and then you feel like, did I want this? And it doesn't feel any different.
Yeah.
So success is like a elusive feeling.
Yeah.
It will never be fulfilled. That am I successful enough?
Yeah.
Because that's the enough makes it
Enough की तो story अलग है ना
yeah.
भाई.
So that is an ever evolving path, but at the same time, I feel like I am getting to do the kind of work that I'm doing. I've done whatever the fuck I wanted to do, and sometimes done it the way it should have been, sometimes failed at it miserably, and I think I have successfully arrived at a position where I'm happy, and if not successful, I'm good.
Yeah.
I feel like life is good. That's what matters. Success is going to evolve. Like I want another level of something. Like materialistic things can never be enough, and I will continue to want them.
अच्छा but रोकड़ा कमाना है नहीं कमाना है नहीं कमाना
हाँ नहीं पैसे वही तो मैं कह रहा हूँ. That's what I'm saying.
The first thing that he said कि भाई
पैसे तो कमाने ही है ना.
वही.
But वो एक level of happiness. I feel success is like not just money. It's also like feeling that I have enough. I'm not gonna die tomorrow.
वही.
I don't want it for anybody else. I just want it for me, and I think I have.
Yeah.
And tomorrow there will be more opportunities, and I will do better, and then I will want more. But in this moment, I am successful. I am happy. That's what I feel.
Got it.
And obviously, success is actually the friends you make along the way.
Right. Are we friends? Are we friends? I called you on my podcast.
Boom.
Okay, we'll end the podcast today with a couple of like LinkedIn posts. Whoever's posted it has to read it. It starts with Aman Vig.
Oh my goodness.
And you have to explain your LinkedIn post as well.
Oh my God! I don't know where this is going.
This was 2 months ago, so I've written this 19th century quote from my 11th class CBSE maths book has stuck with me for years, especially when I see designers, marketers and business gurus use numbers to bolster their weak pseudoscience ideas.
Easy bro, आराम से समझाओ.
आगे नहीं समझ
मैं
आराम से
पढ़ के
पढ़ता
भी
हूँ
नहीं समझा.
तो तुम पढ़ लेता ना खुद मुझे दे दिया तूने मेरा ही पोस्ट पढ़ने के लिए भाई तू भी
Come from the horse's mouth.
This 19th century quote from my 11th class CBSE maths book
Yeah.
has stuck with me for years.
Right.
Especially when I see designers, marketers, and business gurus use numbers to bolster their weak pseudoscience ideas.
Right.
And वो quote क्या है? वो है lies, damn lies, and statistics.
The fuck does that mean, bro?
अब भाई अब वो quote है मैं क्या करूँ बता.
तो फिर ये quote क्यों लगाई? क्या?
ये I'm pretty sure I would have seen some post on LinkedIn.
What are you going through? Bro?
Exactly, that's what I'm telling.
someone, that's
Exactly. This most of my LinkedIn posts are rant and dissing posts, where you can't
That's
of course
pretty
source.
shallow, bro.
Shallow. अरे भाई content
I forgot
ideas
about
कहाँ
being
से
shallow, my
आते
friend.
Exactly.
Do not watch reality TV.
Podcast. भाई podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's how I sprouted out with that idea.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure किसी ने कुछ बकवास लिखी होगी.
Yeah.
आ गया भाई quote.
और मतलब people react to it, people actually read it, pass it to Anant.
अब मैं अनंत का खोलता हूँ.
आप उनका खोलो and you pick up the post, bro. Because the one that I think Raja picked out, like our screenwriter, copywriter, was not like it. So I was like, इससे better तो होगी, कुछ ना कुछ तो लिखा होगा.
Yeah, I have nothing to contribute to LinkedIn, honestly. I'm just like...
Except for Forbes 30 under 30.
नहीं, अब पूछना तुम्हारी
That's the only
social
thing that I'm on LinkedIn for,
तुम्हारी
actually.
social media strategy क्या है? Now is the time to ask कि भाई how are you going through your posts?
Yeah, personal branding.
अभी तक किया नहीं है, but like
Personal
really
brand
want to get
branding,
into it.
हाँ, personal.
नहीं, personal branding is very important. I'm realizing it थोड़ा थोड़ा करके.
आज तभी podcast पे आ गए.
आज पॉडकास्ट पे आ गया हूँ. अभी 2-3 दिन पहले वीडियो पोस्ट कर दिया था.
क्या बात
वो सुपर जायंट का वीडियो था.
Nice.
And hopefully I'll also start like giving my unsolicited opinions on
Must
LinkedIn.
be, yeah, that's the whole point of it.
Living for it.
भाई TED Talk bro, come on. थोड़ा बड़ा वाला ही है.
ओले ये मैंने सोच समझ के लिखा था. Again, like it's all musings and my rantings on LinkedIn. You know those projects that you feel will be of cultural relevance and give you some kind of bragging rights, but by the end of it become projects with vultural relevance.
Nice.
Poetic.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, those. Avoid them if you have a big team. The risk is too high and the money is too low. Money is dollar bag.
Right.
Emojis, I'm cool. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So far, I've been looking at projects and classifying them as cool,
Okay.
cool plus money,
Yeah.
money,
Yeah.
money plus money. Now that we've grown as an org, sometimes the cool ones end up as cool minus money, which hurts the organization, not only money-wise, but also your idea of cool ends up getting squashed. If your team size is bigger than 10 people, avoid too much coolness, be mindful. Thanks for coming to my TED Talk.
Master class हो गया मेरा master class.
ये समझ गए ना आप? इसमें समझाना क्या है? कुछ
नहीं
बताना है?
relevant है.
3 categories: cool,
नहीं, चार
categories.
cool plus money plus money.
मनी और मनी प्लस मनी में क्या डिफरेंस है?
Money
बहुत पैसे और
Money is ठीक है,
आ रहे हैं
money हाँ अन्य यार,
कुछ भी कर लेंगे तो.
नाच के दिखाऊंगा.
Yeah.
Tanveer, are you on LinkedIn?
No.
On those grounds? Not at all.
So yeah, I think it was purely just that classification.
Right. You picked out a dirty one, but
सही है भाई, इसमें
भाई तूने
knowledge भी है.
देखा ही नहीं है अभी तक.
हाँ, वही तो.
but so all of you are working on your personal brand. Like you want to put yourself a little more out there, be that kind of founder.
If पता है.
I only bank on my personal brand and nothing else.
You have to. What's the point? If I'm selling branding to people, they should know that there is a brand that they can associate with. To what is branding?
Yeah.
At the end of the day, that people will know me because of a certain thing.
Correct.
And I think I have built that for myself in a very, like, it's not like many people know me, but
It's the right
relevant
people that know you. Correct.
And I'm happy with that.
Yeah.
And that's what success for me is like. I don't want the world to know me.
Yeah.
I'm happy the way things are. I want the right people to know me and to get through life in a nice way.
Yeah. Fantastic.
Gracefully.
Yeah, exactly.
Any
पहले हेलीकॉप्टर चाहिए था, अभी नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं चाहिए.
नहीं चाहिए.
हेलीकॉप्टर चाहिए होता है.
अरे
तू दिला दे भाई.
तेरे हेलीकॉप्टर में बैठे. Knowing the right people.
But any closing remarks? Anything that in particular you guys want to discuss? Aman, you came in with like.
वह तो we've jumped around so many topics.
Yeah.
क्या बोला था? बता.
हाँ?
क्या बोला था?
कब किसने बोला?
The topic that you saying.
अच्छा नहीं, I've sent a list of couple of topics. मतलब design sales उसमें घुस गया था भाई. बिल्कुल जड़े हुए topics थे, but फिर तुम.
वो आप LinkedIn के लिए use कर.
Exactly, तो वही वहीं पे करूँ. But bro, the times are changing. मेहनत करो बस और.
Your closing remark.
Money is everywhere.
Money.
You need to figure out a way to tap into it.
आनंद ने आज बहुत ज्ञान दिया हमारे को.
मैं तो हमेशा देता हूँ.
ज्ञानी.
I don't have a closing remark. Just fucking.
खाना मंगाओ.
हाँ, खाना खाते हैं.
खाना मिलेगा.
No, but enjoy what you're doing. Like, there's no need to keep doing things forever if you don't enjoy them.
Right. Okay, fair. Also on that note, like, share, subscribe, guys. You also got to say like, share, subscribe.
You can say like.
Nightcap with KSC is what the podcast is called.
What am I
So,
saying?
which one am I saying? Like.
You can say all the three.
Oh, cool. Okay, it's not like a like, share, subscribe.
नहीं वही कर लेते हैं भाई एक एक
What if he says like, rest, subscribe?
Yeah.
Exactly, that's what.
We can do it like that. You say like, share, subscribe.
Precisely. Easier.
Yeah.
Cool. Should I do it?
Yeah.
Like.
Share.
Subscribe.
Nightcap with KSC, bitch.
Pew pew pew.
Okay, we end it here.
तू KSC सारे जितने पॉडकास्ट हुए ना तुम्हारे उन सबको बुला ले, सारे गेस्ट को एक पार्टी कर लेते हैं.
That is a good session.
Branding.
क्या ज्ञान चुदेगी उस दिन.
नहीं बाकी पॉडकास्ट गेस्ट थोड़ी ऐसे ज्ञान चुदना.
Bunny on the dolly.